Simon served as an officer in a military unit that kept a close watch on prisoners. He lived in a special community near the prison, designed for officers' families. This place had everything they needed, like schools, kindergartens, a club, and a canteen, making life comfortable. Simon lived there with his wife, Amelia, and their daughter, Marley. At 15, Marley was blossoming like a beautiful rose. Simon's colleagues often noticed and said, "Your girl is growing up to be a beauty. You should take better care of her, given where we live." These words reminded Simon of the importance of protecting his family in their unique environment. However, Marley had been asking her father for a dog for her 15th birthday. Simon, who never denied her any wish, was preparing to gift her a husky puppy from one of his friends. But fate had other plans for Marley. One day, while she was riding her bike in the community, a small wolf cub wandered in front of her. Marley was shocked to see the cub. At first, she thought it was a puppy. Since she wanted a dog so badly, she gently picked up the cub, placed it in her bike's basket, and took it home. That night, when Simon returned from duty and Marley excitedly showed him the puppy, he was stunned. He immediately recognized that it was a wolf cub, likely lost from its family. When Simon told Marley that it was a wolf cub, she was confused because she had believed it was a puppy. Despite the confusion, Marley pleaded with Simon to keep it. Seeing her determination and love for the cub, Simon decided not to return it to the forest and allowed the cub to stay. Marley instantly fell in love with the adorable creature and named him Piper. From that day on, Marley and Piper became inseparable. They grew up together, the girl and her beloved wolf, forming a bond that was truly special. Piper became a part of their family, bringing joy and adventure into Marley's life. As Simon took on the task of training Piper, despite warnings that wolves are rebellious and can't be trained, he believed that with love, affection, and care, anything was possible. He was right. Piper quickly learned commands, jumped over barriers, and obediently followed Marley. Years passed, and after graduating from school, Marley went to the nearest regional center to study to become a cook. While studying, she worked part-time at a local canteen, gaining experience. Every weekend, she returned home to her parents and her loyal Piper. When she completed her studies, Marley returned to the community and started working in the military canteen. She felt her place was there, close to her parents and her beloved Piper. By this time, Simon had been promoted to the head of his unit. Every day, Piper faithfully awaited Marley's return from work. Sometimes, if she was late, Piper would run away from the yard to search for her. Everyone in the village knew and loved Marley and Piper, often letting Piper into the dining room where Marley worked. One evening, Marley returned home late because salaries were being distributed at the military camp. Despite having the option to take a bus, Marley chose to walk in the cold, enjoying the fresh air and crunchy snow. Little did she know, something was about to happen that would change her life completely. But before we delve deeper into the story, don't forget to subscribe to The Wild Wonder and give that like button a tap. Let's continue the story. Unable to wait any longer, Piper went out on his own to meet Marley and accompany her home. Meanwhile, Marley was enjoying the peaceful walk, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. A robber, eager to find an easy target, had been waiting in a dark alley for a suitable victim. As Marley walked briskly through the private houses, high fences, and dark alleys, the robber saw her silhouette and prepared to strike. At the first convenient moment, he emerged from his hiding spot, twirling a knife. At first, Marley thought it was a bad joke, never imagining someone would attack her in her hometown. But the bandit advanced, smiling menacingly and flashing his knife. Marley was terrified. There are enough fools in the world. We must run, but where? The road is blocked. There are few options, she thought. The bandit grew closer, but then an angry growl echoed behind him. The robber turned to see Piper, who had taken a fighting stance. Realizing the danger, the bandit chose the only option, to run. But racing with a wolf is a losing battle. Marley stepped aside, ducked down, and made way for the fleeing robber. Without a moment's hesitation, the bandit dashed toward the forest. Piper, fueled by instinct and training, gave chase, herding the intruder straight towards the military unit's grounds. The desperate thief tried to vault over the fence, but Piper's agility thwarted his escape. The commotion summoned the entire military unit, racing to the scene upon hearing the cries for help. The thief's panicked pleas echoed as Piper tore at his coat, sending bits of fabric flying. Just in time, Simon, alerted to the chaos, arrived and swiftly commanded Piper to stand down. The obedient wolf released its grip, allowing Simon and Marley to assess the situation. Marley, following closely behind Piper, clarified the unfolding events. With decisive action, the military apprehended the robber and handed him over to authorities. Relieved and humbled by Piper's intervention, the apprehended thief expressed gratitude for being spared from further harm. Throughout Piper's life, he remained a beloved companion in Simon's family, a loyal protector and cherished member until the end. That's all for today. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder.